Ambulances and hospitals are meant to provide medical assistance to people, ensuring their safety and well-being. This noble purpose has been exploited by Hamas, the terrorist organization ruling over Gaza. Sadly, this exploitation did not start in 2023. 2004. During an exchange of fire in Gaza, Hamas terrorists were caught using ambulances marked with the Red Cross and UN insignias to evacuate armed terrorists. 2009. Hamas attempted to hijack ambulances from Al-Quds Hospital in Gaza City. Ambulance drivers had to create false emergencies as diversions to avoid having Hamas terrorists as well as senior leaders being targeted. One such incident involved two Hamas leaders, Jamal Abu Hashem and Ayman Taha, who left Gaza for Egypt while hiding in an ambulance to avoid being struck by the IDF. Eyewitnesses said that they saw other senior Hamas figures in other ambulances. Mahmoud Abbas criticized Hamas for this when delivering a speech at the American Arab University in Jenin.
حركة قيادة حركة حماس وأقولها للمرة الأولى هرب بسيارات الإسعاف.
2014.
As we heard, this is the scumbag so-called, the president of so-called Palestine. From his mouth, what he just said, the leaders of Hamas, they use ambulance to run away from the Israeli. I will play it for you again in case you are deaf, idiot, dummy. Stop attacking the hospital. So we find that truly the Israeli, they were right. They have tunnels under hospitals. All the news agencies in the world, they were welcome to check it out by themselves. It's true that they are using ambulance, which is a crime supposedly against international law in the case of war, that hospitals and ambulance should not be used for any cause of war except taking injured people. Not only that, even doctors, they work with them. Do you think when Hamas, they have a tunnel under the hospital, not a single doctor in you, not a single nurse, not a single staff in the hospital? So the Israeli who live in Israel, they were able to find what is under the hospital, but those who live in the hospital could not know. And those are the one they call them civilians. Like, look here, this is a civilian too, and he is the president of Palestine. Is he lying? He just said that yes, all the leaders of Hamas, they ran away like dogs from the Israeli army using ambulance. I will play it for you again because most of people are deaf, man.
حركة قيادة حركة حماس وأقولها للمرة الأولى هرب بسيارات الإسعاف.
2014. During Operation Protective Edge, Hamas used ambulances to transport operatives and weapons within combat zones, endangering the lives of real medical patients. Additionally, two Palestinian terrorists using ambulances to move through Gaza were identified by the IDF. What about now, in 2023? The sick practice continues. Don't believe us? Here's a Hamas terrorist admitting it himself. What's even more alarming is that Hamas has its own ambulances, which it uses solely for terrorism, making it difficult to distinguish between genuine medical aid and potential threats. According to international humanitarian law, specifically the Geneva Conventions, medical units and organizations, including ambulances, are considered protected entities and cannot be targeted during armed conflicts. However, if an ambulance or any other medical facility is being used for military purposes, such as transporting weapons or militants, it loses its protected status and can ambulances by 1. Evacuating terrorists, 2. Patrolling terrorist infrastructure, 3. Transport purposes, such as militants, it loses its protected status and can be considered a legitimate military target. Let's recap of how Hamas exploits ambulances by 1. Evacuating terrorists, 2. Patrolling terrorist infrastructure, 3. Transporting rockets and weaponry, and 4. Smuggling senior Hamas figures out of Gaza. This is the grim truth behind the use of ambulances by Hamas.
Now let us analyze this fake video. I mean, those Israeli, they keep lying. And this is the Palestinian president? Yes, he is. But guess what? The Israeli, they paid him a lot of shekels, to the point now he bought a suit. All of us, we knew that true Palestinian will not wear a suit. The funny is, American, they are wearing this, Arabian thing, and the Arabian are not wearing it. Stupid European. You see, you support Palestine, you wear that thing. That's something. I mean, I will open a business to make those things. Oh boy, those who they are making them now. Actually, they are made in China, by the way. Not a single Arab knew how to make this. Every country had a different name for it. Everything you see of so-called Arabian clothing is made in China. But anyway, this is the point now. So this is the president of so-called Palestine, and he is saying that Hamas leaders, if the leaders are doing that, what about they run away from the Israeli always using ambulance. Shall we believe him? No way, we cannot believe him. He's a liar. He's lying. Yeah, he's a liar. He must be lying. Anyway, so it doesn't matter really how many times the Israeli, they will show evidence and videos and etc. And even the terrorists themselves, they say this, we did that. It's still those dummy people in the West, in America, in Europe. The drugs, this is the age of drugs, what you can say. And now they will accuse that this guy, the president of Palestine, he is not a Palestinian. Yes, brother, he is originally from Japan. Leave your comment. Or you know what? Don't leave your comment. Nobody do so anyway. I noticed that when somebody, he is an idiot, he make a video, all the idiot in the world, they share his video. But when somebody say the truth, all the good ones, they don't care. You see how good they are? Nah, they don't care. This is why you will see when somebody made a video to support Hamas, he will have 200, 300,000. When somebody, he said the truth, he will have a few thousands. Remember, our videos, we don't make money from them. As you see, we have no commercial, we have no support chat. I don't care really about how many see it, as much I care just how many see the truth. Otherwise, if I have commercial, etc., you might say, okay, you know what? The more view he have, the more commercial, the more money. I did not even activate the commercial in my YouTube because I don't want it in my YouTube. Otherwise, I can do it right now, just one click. So, do something if you care. Download the video, share them, do something. They are fooling your kids. Very disgusting. And those, Israeli, they have to fight all those ignorant in the world. Not only they have enemy inside their land, the whole world outside is their enemy too. This little tiny small nation have to fight everybody. Imagine how much pressure on them. This is why if you are a Christian, if you are a person who support the truth, it doesn't matter if you are Christian or not, you should stand for what is the truth is. The truth is, this is the land of the Jews. Even in the stupid book of the Quran, it says, this is the land of the Jews. Give the Jews their land and go. It is the Muslims who do colonialism. They took Constantinople and now they changed the name and they call it Istanbul. And there are 0 Christians there. The whole Turkey is not Turkey. The whole Egypt is not Egypt. This is not the land of the Muslim. This is the land of the Coptic. The same they did in Iraq, the same they did in Syria, the same they did in Morocco, the same they did everywhere. And now the dogs are going after those little tiny nations. Very disgusting people. You see, I don't blame terrorists for being terrorists, but those people who they are in the West, how stupid they are. Like, don't the other video, the woman, she said they are doing discrimination. It is the Muslim who do discrimination to the Jews, and go and see how they treat them like dogs. Don't you know that the Christian and the Jews, in order to survive, to live, they had to pay jizya? And the Quran explain how they have to be paying with humility and subdued, and they Muslims, they can spank them, they can beat them, they can rape them. Cowards, no dignity, shameful people.